talking to Fastlane. I'm really honored to have you on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this interview. I'm really looking forward.
This is great. I'm going to talk, obviously about the band's debut album, of War and Flames. It drops on March 8th, which is about a month away. I can't believe how fast this year's going.
Well, actually, for me, it was a long journey because we started to release single for this album actually in September. So it's a long time. Really speed up January and February.
Yeah, you're anxious to get it done.
Yeah.
Anxious to get it out there and let everybody hear it.
Yeah.
But what I like about this is I listened through the album a couple times, and it's more than what you previously did. It's more like a symphonic, operatic. It has a little bit more of that, at least to me anyway. Tell us about this album of War and Flames and how it came about.
Well, actually, as you probably already know, I was previously in another band who disbanded in 2022. And so my idea was to, of course, form a new band with Dario Gozzi, the drummer of Kalidia, and Paolo Campitelli, who helped us with some guitars during live shows. And so we actually founded Alterium, and I wrote 6 of the songs that were supposed to be on Kalidia album number 3. And so of course, it was my music, it was my style of music, and I didn't want to waste that music. So since we already did most of the recording for that album, we actually managed to save, we rearranged something, we changed something to fit better in the with the new influences we have in Alterium. And of course we added some of the songs. Actually, Drag Me to Hell is a brand new song written by Alterium. So I think this is a good moving forward album for me when I can connect my past with this new band. While of course we are already working on our second album, and it will be 100% Alterium.
Nice. Well, we're looking forward to that. Believe me. Believe me. You just mentioned the the videos that you guys have done. Now, obviously 4 videos, and what I like is the videos tie in very well to this album. I think they speak to each song very well, and it kind of connects the audience immediately with the band. I mean, this obviously being the band's debut album, it kind of connects and I'm gonna say connects the past with the present very nicely. Tell us about the videos. Crossroads Inn, of War and Flames. Crossroads Inn was a cool video. Tell us about that one.
Yeah, actually, we had a lot of fun. The song is inspired by a video game named actually Crossroads Inn, and which is a medieval tavern simulator. So you have to manage your own tavern, and the game has a beautiful story, and that inspired me to write this song. And when we were thinking about getting a video for this song, it was okay, we have to do a medieval tavern. And who cares about the band playthrough? Let's just do one night at the tavern and just have fun. And I can say we had a lot of fun. As you probably can see, there's a lot of laughing all over, a lot of beers, of course, too.
Right.
All over the video. While the other previous video, Drag Me to Hell, Siren's Call, and Of War and Flames, are more like standard, let's say, metal videos, but we tried to get some awesome background. So as you can see, none of them is in a studio. Everything is or on a outside location or in some specific and peculiar indoor location, as the typical Italian villa we had for Drum Me to Hell, or the beautiful lake of Tovel for Of War and Flames, which is in the Dolomites in the north of Italy.
That's nice. And I was going to mention Siren's Call because I like the way you do the performance in that one. With the waterfall behind you, and and then they flash off to the band. It really ties into that song, because when you listen to the video, it kind of really ties that in. I thought that was really cool that you guys did that.
Yeah. I think well, the waterfall reconnects to the Siren theme, but I also love really a lot the playback, because everything is white. We are classy playing. We are dressed like a classy band, not like super metal stuff. And I think everything fits with the song, which is elegant and melodic. So yeah, I think we did a decent job.
You did a great job, believe me.
Thank you.
Like I was saying earlier, the album is a smooth transition, from Kalidia, and I hear how tight this band is, which is nice. You had the two guys with you that you brought over, but you also had two new players, Alessandro and how's he say his name?
Luca.
Tell us about that, and how that came together, because it seemed like it was a seamless transition. These guys fit very well.
Yeah, actually, I've been a friend with Luca since, I think, 2010. So we know each other very well, and we have already played several times, sharing the stage with this other band, or also doing some covers on YouTube together. So it was, a natural decision for me to have him. He's a really great musician, but also he's an awesome composer. I'm really impressed about what he's actually writing for the second album. Is really great. He's also an awesome singer, so you probably will hear some of his singing too in the second album. Well, actually, I didn't know Alessandro personally, but it was Paolo who suggested him, and he was the perfect choice. He's really a nice guy, but mainly is a fantastic guitar player. And also on live shows, he really proved to be one of the best. It's fantastic. So actually, I'm really, really happy about this new lineup. I think we really bounded really well together.
See, that's good. That's something that's necessary, in a band, to transition that way. And
Absolutely.
This album has, it's the production of it's really good. When you listen to it, it's got that, that full sound. I mean, it's heavy, it's melodic, like you said. Tell us about that. It's the sonic side of it, produced by Lars, from Freedom Call, and mastered by, I guess his name's Achim.
Achim Koehler.
Achim Koehler. Tell us about that. I mean, because like I said, I'd love to hear,
actually, I think it sounds it doesn't sound Italian at all, which I kind of like it. It's typical from German power metal, actually. The master is really loud and everything is smooth, really in front of the listener, and I really love. I've been working with Lars with my previous band for years, and we really we are really working well together, and we share the same vision about the sound production of this band. And so I'm really, really satisfied with the sound, and I think as I said before, it doesn't sound Italian. So I think that people that listen to our album at the very beginning are a little bit confused actually. But I like it, and I'm really satisfied about the result.
Yeah, it came out great. It's a great listen.
Thank you.
What's it like, obviously in the studio with this band, or the recording process, your voice is fantastic, by the way. I mean, when I listen to that your vocal ability, it has to be nice to be able to go into the studio, and especially for those guys to come in and say, wow, we can basically do anything because your voice can do that. What's it like in the studio and the recording of this album? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, actually, before we get to the studio, we actually work a lot on pre-production. So we have this already sounding great demos. So that they also have my vocal line already written, and it really helps a lot to do the proper arrangement. When you have already a great demo to work on, it's really easy to do the right arrangements. And of course, when we got to the recording studio with Lars, it happens a lot of time that we changed things together. We try something new. So maybe in the end, the song it got in another direction. But I think it's the good part of having a producer, actually. I don't think that a musician has always the right view on a song. Actually, when you are writing, you are always 100% that this is the perfection. Then you go to the studio and the producer said, let's try this. And then you realize, okay, this is way better. So there's a lot of work in progress when you are producing an album. But actually, this time we already got there with the pre-production, so it went way smoother than the past, and I'm really happy.
So that's good when you can actually go in and then have something go smoothly. You don't have to, stress about it or anything.
Yeah.
For you and this band, what's the songwriting process? When you go in, what's the idea based off of? Is it a melody? Is it a
actually, it
chorus,
depends. Actually, everyone in the band is a songwriter too. So it can start from me. Maybe I send some vocal melodies to the guys and they do the arrangement. But also the other guys are composing and also arranging most of the other instruments. So we had a lot of material to choose from. And basically 90% of the song is already written when we got together and say, okay, we like this, we work on this, but mainly it's already done. Besides the vocal lines, which I prefer to take care personally because I know my voice and I know how to make it work perfectly. So the other guys are taking care of the instruments and I do the vocal lines and the lyrics.
It's always great to hear how the band's write. I always hear that they pass things along, like they could be humming something and have it on the phone and record it. So that's why I always ask the question, because
well, actually, mainly it's me that I record stuff wherever I have an idea, but the guys are really well organized. Most of them already have an home studio, so when they send me something, it's already great stuff recorded. So it's basically me that I record a lot of stuff on my phone, and then I go back to home and try to find out the chords and send them the demos.
Yeah, that's great. That's great to hear. Tell us about how you got started. There's a lot of bands, that I hear, but you guys are different. And what I like about it is the the different elements, that this band has and that you've had in the past. It's like it's symphonic, but it's like operatic too. Tell us about how you got started.
Well, actually, the band was born right after the split of my previous band. And as I said, we already have some of the material already written. And we just added like 4 or 5 songs to the album. And actually, I don't have a clear answer for this question because I just write what I like, and also goes for the arrangements. some songs are more in the power metal styles with less orchestration, while others like Foreign Flames or Siren Score are more melodic with a lot of strings going on. So it really depends on the songs. I don't have I need to do this and this for the song. It's just like, okay, I like this, I do this. And so it was natural for me to have this kind of songs, and I think actually they fit a lot with my voice, and also having a lot of orchestration and choirs behind also improve your live performances, because we have a lot of backing tracks, which makes the sound of the band huge also on live shows.
So that's great to hear. How about you as an artist? I mean, how did you get started? I mean, you've obviously been in, 3 successful bands, man. This one, I'm going to say successful already, even though you guys have, March 8th, I could tell it's going to be, very well. How about you as an artist? I mean, what made you get into this, and how did you get started?
Well, actually, I've always loved music, and I've been a pianist for like 10 years before turning into singing, and was like a casual thing. There was this band when I was in high school. They were looking for a singer, and I remember I was just singing something in front of my friend. We were just singing along with a song, and they told me, "Oh, you have a nice voice. You should do an audition for our band." And that's how I basically started singing.
Cool.
It wasn't planned actually at the very beginning, also because
that's great.
I was a very shy girl. So I know it's really strange to hear right now that I was shy, but I was really shy at that time, and I didn't imagine me as a singer on a stage. But in the end, I really like it. We started playing like some rock covers from very famous bands. And then when I was like 19, I joined this band that later became Kalidia. So it was really my first serious band that really went skyrocket. And then I joined Walk in Darkness and several other projects. But I usually have a main band, like it was Kalidia before, and now Alterium, where I also write my music, and also several other side projects.
That's great to hear. 19, and then you get, really that's a big jump, at that age to get into. But it's great to see that, that there's bands out there, that are younger and still carrying this, this music that we all love. It's not, just sitting dormant, and we're relying on all the past bands. It's great to see the new stuff coming up, and projects and bands like what you guys are doing is fantastic to hear. It really is. We talked about earlier about Kalidia. It was a band, obviously it was very successful, and the albums that you had. Tell us about that. And you have a huge following with that band. The fan base is strong, and tell us about that, and tell us about how it came about, and then obviously ended and went right into this, but it was kind of like a seamless transition, it seemed like.
Yeah, actually, I think the band reached a really wide audience when our second album was released, The Frozen Throne. We actually shoot that video of the title track that went viral on YouTube, and we got like millions views. And it really, when that song came out, it was really a huge boost to our career, and we started to play a lot also outside Italy, and so it was a great time actually. And at that time we actually grew a really strong community, let's say fan base. but when we were working on the third album, we realized that we had different views on the future of the past of the band, or the future of the band. And so it was time. We tried to make it work, but really, if it wasn't the right choice for everyone involved, so we decided to go separate ways. So we basically split into bands, so that everyone can now follow their dreams and their vision. And now that I'm in Alterium, I'm just thinking why I didn't do this before, because now
Right.
I am in my perfect situation with the right people in the right band, and so I'm really happy right now. Actually, I didn't change. I wouldn't change anything. Probably I would just call a day for Kalidia soon, earlier.
It has to be tough too when you're in that situation. You know, you think you want
Yeah.
to make it go on,
Yeah,
but it's nice.
actually, it was I was a teenager when I founded Kalidia, so it was really difficult to let it go, to realize it was over. The band, I spent more than 10 years working a lot, because I did most of the things. I did the social, I did management, booking, I did everything. So it was really hard to let it go, but yeah, sometimes it's just the right thing to do.
Right, that's a lot of work too. And then when you
Yeah,
finally get to a place like this, to where you can actually, breathe and go in and with a
yeah,
positive outlook, that makes it even better for you. I can imagine as an artist
absolutely.
to get into that comfort zone. You know,
Absolutely.
when I get, the promos, I like to read everything, in depth, and I listen to the music. And I thought one thing was really cool was tell us about the, being an influencer for Dungeons and Dragons and, some of that stuff. Because I think that's cool because I saw, Nintendo on there, and we like to
Yeah.
play Mario Party,
Wow,
kids and
Mario
everything.
Party
So that's
is
cool.
such an
Great.
amazing game. Yeah, I also play a lot with friends, and also we actually played one time with Alterium, with the band. We played Mario Party, and it was fun.
That's cool.
It
That is
was
cool.
really fun. Yeah, as I said before, I've been writing music about video games or fantasy books since ever. I've
Right.
been playing since my childhood with my brother. We have really played tons of video games, but I'm also into board game, card game, and of course books and films and fantasy stuff. And yeah, I've been sharing my passion for this kind of stuff on the social media for some kind of for some years now. And I've also started to collaborate with a lot of brands. So this is really
That's
awesome,
cool.
because I can I can I can how do you say I don't have the words tonight.
Connect with them.
um
Yeah.
yeah, I can connect my passion with also work, which is something that I think most of the people dream of. So I'm really happy with that. So I got an invitation to Comic-Con and fairs, and I got a lot of products to try, and my inner child is really happy.
That's cool. That's cool. Eventually, I could hear you guys doing a song for one of these games. I'm sure
Yeah.
that's going to be something on the way very soon.
Yeah, actually, Crossroads Train is an official partnership with Club Altair, which is the software house who produced the game, the Tavern Simulator. And I'm working on something more video game related, but also Drag
That's
Me to
cool.
Hell is inspired by World of Warcraft, which is my all-time favorite video game. So there's a lot of nerdy stuff on this album too.
I think that's cool because you could tie it into and you connect to an obviously a wider fan base too. I mean, not
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
the older group, but you have the younger tie-ins too. which you guys connect with very well. So that's one of the things that, that I saw that, I thought that was fascinating, because you could hear those influences in the songs. That's something that's different that you guys do than, a lot. So I thought that's cool. How about as far as touring, what is the band, what's the plans? Is it going to be something to where, the album comes out and you guys hit?
Actually, the really fantastic thing is that we already played 3 festivals even before releasing an album, and this is really awesome. We actually played our very first gig in Germany. It was a really nice festival, and then we played Epic Fest in Denmark, which was huge festival, and that was such an experience. And then we played a couple of weeks ago for the very first time in Italy. So this is something interesting because, when there's a new band, they usually start to play local venues and festival while we started from Germany, which is really funny. But it was really, I think it was nice, and it helped us to grow some kind of hype around the band and this new album, and we also gained some new fans that didn't know me or my previous career. So I think it was exactly the right move, even if we had to play some of the songs that weren't already released, so it was a little bit risky, but everything went good, and we are 100% satisfied. And now we are working on more shows. We have already some other festival booked, but we cannot say anything for now.
Right.
So we are trying to get more shows as possible. Of course, we are a new band, so maybe some of the promoters are a little bit, okay, let's wait a little bit and see how this band grows. So it's not so easy as a new band, but we are trying our best, and we are already satisfied of what we did, and the new shows we have already booked, so we cannot wait to announce them. Of course, we hope we can do a full tour as soon as possible, but we realize we are still a new band, and we have to raise our name a little bit more to get the right recognition to go actually on a proper tour. So, but we are working on this.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be great. I mean, that's really good to hear that you were able to go out and do stuff like that before this album, because it's kind of, it's not like you have to put the album out and then all of a sudden tour for it. You guys have already proven a little bit, what you sound like. So that's really great. I wish you the best on that. I really do. I'm sure the band's going to be fantastic out there live.
I hope so. Well, actually, we really had some fantastic live reviews, so I think we did great, and we really got some new fans, and that's the best thing for a new band.
That's good when they're supporting you right out of the gate like that. That's great. How about some of your influences? You obviously, like I said, your vocal range is amazing. I mean,
Thank you.
The sound and what you do. Tell us about, not only your influences, but somebody that we would think be a surprise to the fans, like somebody that's different.
Well, I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of classical music and opera, so I often go to the theater to see some opera stuff, which is kind of strange because I don't sing like an operatic voice. There are a lot of metal music, but it's not my kind of singing. But of course, I was really influenced a lot by Italian power metal, so Rhapsody, Vision Divine, Labyrinth. Those are actually my favorite bands, and I grew up listening to them. And I also, during the years, we became also friends, and that was really something that really left a huge mark on my career, because Fabio Lione is one of my all-time favorite singer, along with Roy Khan, a former singer of Camelot. and Russell Hallen from Symphony X. Those are my three favorite singers, and they inspire me a lot. Yeah, maybe something strange is that I don't listen much to female-fronted metal. I know this is strange, considering I'm a woman, but yeah, I like some of them. Maybe they're more rock one, like Battle Beast. I really love Nora vocals, Doro, really strong rock voices. But yeah, I think I can relate more to male vocals, actually. I grew up singing male vocals mainly, and so I'm really inspired by those kind of singers.
That's really cool, because you could hear it in the songs, over your entire career. And I think that's great to hear, like some of those. I love Symphony X, obviously, but that's a great band.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, what about the rest of 2024? What does that have in store for Alterium? Obviously the album comes out March 8th. We're all looking forward to that, believe me.
We are 1 month away. We are almost there. Well, we actually already recorded some new songs, which will be released as standalone singles. So
Nice.
there will be more music this year. We will try to release a single every 2 or 3 months, just to keep the focus on the band, and it also will help us to grow fast on Spotify and also the other streaming platform. I'm a huge fan of the physical release of an album, but nowadays we also have to think about the digital part, which is actually the main part at the moment. So
that's right.
So we actually worked this strategy out with our label. That's why we had a lot of singles before the album release. There's gonna be another single next week, so it's gonna be six singles before the album release, which is really a lot. But this is the only way to grow a new band really in a fast way. And in the end, I think it's the right decision, it's the right strategy for us right now.
We're talking, about the singles coming out and all the things that have come up. And I love what AFM Records does, as a label, and the artists that they do. What's it like working with those people? I mean, they obviously have a great reputation, but from an artist standpoint, I'm always curious of, what does the artist feel like with a label like that?
Actually, I can only say good things, because all the process have been really smooth. Actually, when we signed with them, we didn't have even a name for the band. So we actually, yeah, it was just music and some photos. And then we worked out everything together. And that was really, really great. We share a lot of ideas, impression, and because on both sides we wanted to have a successful band, and so it was really interesting to work with them. They are really the communication is really good. We are working fast on both sides, so I'm really happy, and of course I'm really proud to be part of AFM, because it's one of the most important label in Europe. They release some of my favorite albums, so I'm really proud to release our first album with them, and for sure we will have more albums in the future together.
That's fantastic. That you can get under a label like that and get that kind of backing. It's great to see. It's definitely great to see. How about any last words? Like, where can the fans get the album? Where can we pre-order it? What any shirts, anything like that? Where can the fans go to get that stuff?
Actually, the album is already available for pre-order. There's gonna be some CDs, but also some limited edition vinyl. It's gonna be like 500 pieces of golden vinyl, which is, in my opinion, a great piece for collection.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's available for pre-order on AFM shops, but also on Amazon, EMP, and actually most of the main shops. Actually, I think also Napalm Records store has it, and probably also Nuclear Blast. So there's a lot of options for store to get it, and we will soon launch our new t-shirt shops. So we're gonna have 4 different designs inspired by some of the singles, and of course by the artwork cover. So stay tuned.
We're looking forward to it. Everybody that's listening, of War in Flames, Alterium, I've listened to this a lot in multiple times now. Great album. I'm really happy, for you guys, and debut album, and I wish you the best.
Thank you so much.
I think fans are really going to be impressed, with a debut like this. I mean, people got to hear the videos and got to hear the singles that are out now, and more on the way, and we're excited about it. Plus another album in the works. It doesn't get any better. It doesn't get any better than that. Doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, I think we will focus on the songwriting right after the release of the album. So we hope to get to the studio at the end of this year or the very beginning of next year. So there's gonna be a lot of music coming from us in the coming months and years.
Fantastic. Great to hear it. Well, Nicoletta, thank you for joining us. I know
Thank you so
talking to
much for
Fastlane
this interview. It was really a pleasure.
Yeah, we wish you the best. Best of luck on the album. We'll be listening. Believe me, March 8th.
Thank you.
We'll be promoting it for you. And
thank you.
Anything that you have to put out, I'd love to have you back on the show.
Of course, as soon as we have new music or anything new, I will be happy to come back. Thank you so much.
Best of luck, Nicoletta. Thank you.
Thank you.